How an ordinary producer can't talk to him. They're talking different language. I can talk to him because I understand commercial real estate. When I do my improvements, land improvements, clear fences, brush and rock piles and everything else, area, so we have a clear run. The tenants benefit 10 years from now just as much as the original guy did. Without capital, I don't care whether you're farming 1,000 acres or 100,000, you're not going anywhere. None of us are. That is the key.
I'm a fire chief down here in RM 44, and I was on RM council for 16 years. And we had a recent fire, and everybody in the community, especially down in that part of the world, dropped what they were doing and went to that fire. And it made me think, like the absentee landlords, and not just pointing out Robert, but he is one of the largest landowners in this RM. But everybody in the RM dropped what they were doing to go to that fire. Right from the general volunteers to the guys, the RM volunteers that run the fire trucks. We dropped what we were doing. I stopped spraying. I grabbed the water tanker. I went to that fire. So that made me think, why are not absentee landlords and investment ownership groups taxed at a slightly higher rate? No, I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying 10, 15% higher rate to offset some of the expenses that the locals and the volunteers are doing, because we drop what we're doing, no matter who owns that land, to go to these fires. So that extra money would be paid towards better fire trucks, better equipment, better fire halls, better training, and to help out with these fires. Because as us as a local in the community here, we drop what we're doing because we are here. We are responsible for the land that is here. So that's why I think the absentee landlords and investment ownerships should be taxed at the RM rate higher to offset the expense and maybe reimburse the guys that are dropping what they're doing. Quit making square passes, quit seeding to go to a fire, and we don't care whose land it's on. But I think that may be something that should be looked into more in the future, because I don't agree with the fact that absentee landlords get, yes, they're paying tax on the road use. We're all using that. But I don't agree with the fact that we drop what we're doing to go to it, and they're not even within 1,000 miles of that fire.
Well, to answer that, we have tenants. Tenants live in that area, so they should be participating. Okay, then I looked at it. I addressed that issue that you're questioning. I looked at it, and I'm the type that's do what you do best and hire the rest. I looked at it. If I participate for one community, one RM, what am I doing? I'm just affecting few producers or few tenants in that area. Then I looked at it. What do I have that is very hard for any ordinary producer to address or to have any leverage or sway, let's say, with lenders? Okay, my past experience in commercial real estate put me in touch with a lot of head bankers. I've been dealing with them virtually my whole life, whole business life, since I was 17. Uh, Going to that, what you do best, I thought if I talk to the lenders, get them to understand agriculture better, everybody, doesn't matter where you're farming, across Canada, especially like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, the three prairie provinces, which was my biggest target area, will benefit. When lenders think about loans, I'm talking the head offices in Toronto, the guys that make the rules. They think in terms of commercial real estate. How an ordinary producer can't talk to him. They're talking different language. I can talk to him because I understand commercial real estate and starting to understand farmland and agriculture. I can sway them and I can tell them the difference between the two, because they'll ask the same question that Kevin asked earlier about. I think it was Kevin's questions about the cap rates and the rest. Well, why is your cap rate 3% when the industry you left was 10% plus? I can answer them those questions. I can answer them TIs. tenant improvements, which every commercial real estate guy owner participates in. And when it's a shitty market like today, they'll participate in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then 5 years later, some new guy comes in and needs to change the office configuration and everything else, rip it out, start all over again. Oh, yeah, is what I get. There's a big difference. Of course, there is. When I do my improvements, land improvements, clear fences, brushes, brush and rock piles and everything else, bury it. So we have a clear run. The tenants benefit 10 years from now just as much as the original guy did. And then when you talk a lot of difference, what's your rent free period? What's this? What's that? Like I got about 20, 30, 50 different answers for them. And they're coming on side. They're starting to understand agriculture much better. And without capital, I don't care whether you're farming 1,000 acres or 100,000, you're not going anywhere. None of us are. That is the key. So I figure that my time best spent is doing that. In the last 12, 13 years, I've been going to Toronto. I spent over $50,000, maybe more, most likely more, because their hotel rooms are $300, $400, $500. Meeting with these people, with the lenders,